Hey, in our last video we covered our scroll trigger for our website. When we scroll down our website here, it'll trigger our navigation go from a transparent to a black background there. And our back to top button down here will appear. Now that we got that completed, this is pretty much our final kind of development part of our website for this series. So if you made it this far, thank you and congratulations. Now, what I want to take a look at next is our file size for our CSS file. Now, right now, if we take a look here at our file size, let's run npm run build Github. Now, as that builds, we'll see what the file size is. So right now, it's a 2.3, 2.4 meg size file, and that's a pretty big file for a CSS file, especially for a site our size, and even for like a huge site, it would be too large. Now, what do we do? How do we do this to optimize this file size? Now, right now, it brings in every single class, every single part, every component part of Tailwind. Now, what we need to do is only add the stuff that we're using. Now, what we need to do is we'll use something called Purge Css to purge out all the styles we're not using. So there's two ways of doing it that I'm going to cover. I'm going to cover the quick way first, and then we'll go into a more in-depth manual way to do it. The first way we're going to do it is this. On Tailwind, there's a controlling file size page, and I'll post this into the video. Now, if we scroll down to the bottom, okay, so I'm going to grab this here, and let me actually grab the whole, paste that there, change this to mode. It's this mode. Do layers. And our content needs to be public. So what it's going to do is it's going to go into our public folder, look at all HTML files, and grab all the styles that we're using. And I'm also going to add JS. So our JS file here as well. Okay, so it's going to go into here and look at both all these files in here and determine what styles they need to include. Now we need to create another script here. We'll name this prod. And I'm going to add a variable here. So it's going to be node underscore env equals production. Save that. Now let's run our script, prod. And it shrunk it down from a 2.3 meg file down to 23 kilobytes. So about 1% of what it used to be. That's pretty good. Now that's probably pretty manageable, but I want to go and do a more manual method called like using Post Css. So how we need to do that is we're going to install a couple packages. And this first package here, let's grab that. NPM install -d. We're going to use this. We need Post Css, Post Css CLI, and CSS Nano. And that's going to help us minify our file. If all that's written correctly, okay. Let's run that. Now on the installation page, I'm just going to grab this, Post CSS, create a new file in our root, and just grab this. That'll be our base. Okay, now go back here. Now I want to grab this So I want to include or require const CSS Nano equals require CSS. Yeah. And on this page, I'm going to grab this. Now I'm going to grab that, paste it here, and CSS Nano here. Preset defaults. Okay, does that all look good? Oh yeah, so this needs to be public. Delete that, and duplicate that, and change that to JS. Okay, so what this is doing is we're going to use Post Css this is the Post Css config file. We included our CSS Nano. This is going to minify our CSS file. This is going to purge our CSS file. And it's going to use this here as a regular expression to go and find our matching for any of this stuff within these files. That's going to determine which styles to keep. And this is going to it's going to use Post CSS with these plugins. So it's going to use Tailwind, CSS Nano, the auto prefixer, and purge CSS. So hopefully all that is correct. I think I need this to be like that. It's giving me a squiggly line thing. I don't think I need this. Okay. Yeah, that looks more right. Preset and default. Okay, let's save that. Now let's go back to our package. We're going to create a new one of these. Actually, let's grab this. Call this Post CSS. And all we need to do here is change Tailwind to Post CSS. Save that. And let's try it out. NPM run Post CSS TW. And have that build. I have a folder here. It's building. Hopefully there's no errors. Okay, that's complete. Now I did a list earlier, so I'm going to do it again. And it shrunk it down from a 2.4 meg file down to 11 kilobytes. So even smaller than our original one that we did over here with just the fast version, which was only, I think, where was it? 25 kilobytes. Hey, I forgot to show you guys what the CSS file looks like. So I just wanted to go and do that. If we go into here, we can kind of see what the file looks like. So this is what it is purged with the site minified or the file minified using CSS Nano. So now the file size is down to about 11 or 12 kilobytes. Okay, so I just wanted to show that because I forgot to do that. Okay, so you can continue on with the rest of the video. All right, let's take a look here. Oh yeah, let's do a quick demo. Make sure it's all working. So everything's still working as it should be. All the styles are working. Let's check it out in inspect. Different breakpoints. So we got the iPad Pro, landscape, iPad, portrait, landscape, and let's check out iPad. Or I mean iPhone. or mobile. So yeah, that's all working. Everything's still okay. Let's get out of here. And yeah, everything's all working still. So with Purge CSS, we're able to optimize the CSS file. Now we don't have to deal with a 2.4 meg file size. Now I wouldn't use that script as you're developing. I would still keep using the regular watch script and have that build out, just because you don't want it constantly building and then missing something, and if you're not making a change to either the config file or your source CSS file, it may not display the utility classes that you're using if it's something new. So I would stick with using either this one or the watch. And when it's time to do production, if you want to go the fast method, which is just adding to here. And if you're using a really old version of Tailwind, you can't do it this way. You're going to have to do it this way. Doing it this way with installing the NPM packages. Okay, so I think that wraps it up for the Purge CSS. And yeah, so I guess I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the content so far. If you have any questions or feedback, please leave a comment down below. To stay updated with the latest content from the channel, you can subscribe by clicking right here in the middle.